A guy in Montana is more of a man than I will ever be. The nature boy Ric Flair is in the news today because he claims that he's had sex with an Oscar winner. And BuzzFeed just released another article that is going to make you feel super old. It is today's Top 3 minicast. All right, so I'm going to make this first story really quick because I've been seeing this video all over social media today. So there's a good chance that you've already seen this, but just in case if you haven't, check it out because it is an awesome story. There's a guy from Montana named Todd Orr. He is a 50-year-old hiker, and while hiking on Saturday, he got attacked by a grizzly bear and he survived. Then, when he was trying to get back to his truck, he crossed paths with the same bear and it mauled him for a second time. And by the way, he survived both maulings. Now, the reason I say you probably have already seen this is because there is a video that he posted to his Facebook right after it happened. The dude is covered in blood, and for whatever reason, he's just talking about it super calmly. He's like, oh, look, half of my face is falling off. Here, take a listen.
Yeah, life sucks in bear country. Just had a grizzly with 2 cubs come at me from about 80 yards, and I sprayed the shit out of her with bear spray, and then I went on my face and protected the back of my neck. She got my head good. I don't know what's under my hat. My ear, my arm, pieces of stuff hanging out. I don't know what's going on in there.
It's really graphic, but at the same time, I just can't help but think this guy is incredible. And for whatever reason, if you're like one of the 5 people on my friends list that hasn't seen it, I will post a link in the description of this video. It's, again, for lack of better words, incredible. Pro wrestling legend Ric Flair is in the news today, and not because of his Rolex wearing or jet flying.
The Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
It's because Ric Flair claims that he has had sex with an Oscar winner. Now, if you guys remember back in the day when Ric Flair used to be a really popular wrestling character, he used to brag about taking ladies on a ride to Space Mountain. Now, to Ric's credit, back in the day, he did have a reputation for being quite the party guy, and quite a few women did take that ride. And according to Ric Flair, one of the women who took that ride was Oscar winner Halle. Now, Ric has got his own podcast. It's called The Ric Flair Show. On a recent episode, he was asked if any celebrities have taken a ride on Space Mountain, and this is what he had to say.
All right, Rick, this week's Ask Nate's question comes to us from Goober Dwayne. On Twitter, he wants to know, any celebrity riders of Space Mountain?
Oh, gosh, several dozen.
We're going to get any names
you
today?
Want me to start with Halle Berry or what?
Oh, Halle Berry rode Space Mountain.
Of course she did.
Okay.
She was in Atlanta, and she just got divorced from Dave Justice.
Wait, are you telling a real story right now?
Would I have to make up a lie?
Flair is 67 now, so that would have made him in his late 40s at the time. Halle is 50. She would have been in her early 30s. For the record, I did check the internet to see if Halle has responded. She has, and she claims that she doesn't even know who Ric Flair is, which kind of sounds like something somebody who took a ride on Space Mountain would say. Woo! And our final story today is just going to make you feel super old. It comes from our good friends over at BuzzFeed. They put together a list of facts about kids entering their freshman year of high school. And basically, this list is just to give you an idea of how young these kids are relative to you. Now, check this out. Most of the kids entering high school this year were born in the year 2002, which means that they were born after September 11th. I graduated high school in 2002. Oh my goodness. Also, they were born when My Big Fat Greek Wedding, 8 Mile, and the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie came out. Most of these kids were born after Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake broke up. You guys remember how devastating that was? They most likely have never used a digital camera and have only taken pictures with a phone. And if you remember how cool the original white iPods were, well, these kids never had one because by the time they were old enough to listen to music, we were already on our 3rd or 4th iPhone. So that means that a dedicated iPod was basically obsolete. Your bones hurt yet? And that brings us to today's question of the day. How old were you back in the year 2002? What do you remember from that year? What were you doing? Go ahead and leave a comment. We'd love to know. I'm Ransom, and that is it for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.